All right, thank you very much, and it's an honor and a privilege to be here at the Byrd Theater. And I thought about 30 different stories to start off my program, but I have to start with the first one by thanking Ralph White for the inspiration to take me as just a fishing guide, which I started about 12 years ago on the river as a part-time fisherman. Slowly built it up to a full-time job, but from listening to Ralph, I realized that there's a lot more to fishing than just fish. It's all about the wildlife, it's about the scenery, it's about the history of this great river. So Ralph, thank you very much for years of inspiration. Something that, I don't know if ironic's the right word, but again, I started working on the river as a part-time fishing guide in 1990. And slowly but surely, or excuse me, 2000, about 12 years ago. And I slowly got a little busier and a little busier, and I thought that maybe I could make a full-time job out of being on the river. And on March 4th of 2004, I decided to give it a shot. And I picked March 4th because it's my favorite day of the year. And here it is, March 4th again. But it's like a statement, you're marching forth. You're going forward, you're moving on and giving something a try. So, another 5 years later, and now I'm running Eagle Tours and History Tours on the James River. Well, what I love about these eagles on the river, and my job in particular, is just a story that seems to be continuously written. Every time I spend time on the river, including this morning, things happen that I've never seen before. There was a pair of eagles, or there was one eagle, a mature eagle, diving down on a fish, and it would circle around and kept diving down, and it would just barely touch the fish, but it wasn't grabbing it. And I was sitting there telling everybody on the boat, I was like, this is what these eagles were doing last fall when they were training their young eaglet to feed. And I'm like, well, that eaglet's gone. That left last October, November. So, what's going on? And sure enough, circling around right above us was this eaglet. And it was probably the eaglet that fledged last year and flew away in the fall, came back to see his parents, this weekend. And sure enough, the eaglet came down, swooped down, gave it a shot at the fish, had another shot, and then the parents said, no, that's not how it's done. Came down and grabbed the fish. But, I just thought that was really interesting to see, one of the adults, continuously teaching, their eaglet. It was pretty neat. Well, I'd like to go ahead and start off my presentation, by showing you a few images that a number of photographers have taken. In this presentation, there's probably about 14 or 15 photographers, different photographers. But I wanted to sort of show you how I feel, at the pinnacle of that early morning time frame when the sun's just coming up, you're out on the water, and you have everything in front of you, all the wildlife, all the fish, all the eagles. And it's times like that you think anything